10 big American stores that will be gone by 2024. 10 of America's biggest stores may be on the verge of disappearing by the next year. Yes, you heard it right. These iconic stores that we have grown up with and relied on for decades may be facing their final days. It's a rapidly changing retail landscape, and some of the biggest players may not survive. So, which stores are on the chopping block? Stay tuned as we explore the top 10 American big stores that could be gone by 2024. In this video, we explore the decline of the retail sector as one of the most devastating events the American economy has faced in the past 10 years. Thousands upon thousands of retail establishments have closed their doors for good in recent years. And with the onset of a new economic crisis, that number is expected to increase dramatically. With inflation, supply chain issues, and reduced consumer spending all accumulating month after month, it's clear that business owners are facing more challenging conditions. We have compiled a list of 10 store chains that are in danger of completely vanishing from our current economic landscape. The economic climate in the United States is shifting rapidly. You must be thinking, would you be able to visit your neighborhood store again or not? You must be thinking, what's the real reason behind this big store closure in one of the world's most powerful countries? Well, let's jump right into the video. According to recent statistics, pessimism about the retail industry is rising, and even the largest corporations are having trouble making ends meet. UBS estimates that another 80,000 establishments will be gone by 2024, adding to the hundreds of thousands that have shut down in the last 5 years. Each of these closings will simultaneously lose dozens, hundreds, or perhaps thousands of jobs. The decline and eventual demise of America's corporate titans have left the country's economic landscape looking barren and foreboding. Number 1. Carter's. Currently, there are plans to shutter 200 Carter's doors. The children's clothes store kept the leashes at its less successful outlets. Speaking with analysts, Carter's CEO Michael Casey said that the business, like many other retail rivals, is dealing with an excess inventory and is not selling at the expected pace. The CEO also stated that the imbalances between supply and demand mean bad news for earnings this quarter and spelled trouble for Carter stocks, which have already dropped by 11% over the past month. Number 2. American Eagle Outfitters. The company is closing 250 of its outlets, most of which are mall-based. The question here is, why? Well, after disclosing a $42 million sales loss in September, which caused the company share to drop 7.4% in a single-day sale, moreover, it dropped by 6% from the prior quarter. According to Chief Operating Officer Mac Mathias, the retail situation is now bad, and inventories have dropped. As a result, there is a significant problem for companies like American Eagle Outfitters, since billions of dollars worth of excess clothes inventory are floating about. Number 3. Nordstrom. The luxury department store chain Nordstrom has started that it plans to close all of its underperforming locations in the United States. The goal of this action is to cut the chain's operational costs by $150 million. Comparing this time to the same one the previous year, there has been a 9% decline in foot traffic. The firm recently lowered its revenue forecast from 8% to 5% this year, underscoring the severity of its financial difficulties. Number 4. Bloomingdale's. The Bloomingdale brothers founded the high-end department store company Bloomingdale's in 1861. Since Macy's acquired the business, the deterioration of the department store sector has only increased. The company is in the process of being replaced by a new retailer and is currently under scrutiny. The Chicago Sun-Times provided this information in a 3-year attempt to increase production to stay in business. Hundreds of Macy's stores and Bloomingdale's will close. The business can now assess whether the design of its stores can adapt to the changing times. Number 5. Banana Republic. The retail foot traffic to Banana Republic's physical stores has been shrinking for 7 straight quarters, much like that of sister company Gap. The brand is being forced to drastically reduce its physical presence. In August, it announced the closure of 130 stores. The company set a goal to double its online sales. However, sustainable small businesses have risen on online platforms. The executives are wondering if the brand is no longer necessary in the oversaturated apparel market. Many of the United States' most recognizable department store chains have gone bankrupt and closed thousands of stores because they were unable to keep up with the demands of consumers and the competitive retail landscape. Number 6. Michaels. The arts and crafts store Michaels saw its stock fall to an all-time low last year. The business has struggled to stay afloat ever since its profit reports failed to meet investors' expectations for 6 consecutive quarters. As a result, the company's stock price fell by 65%. Michaels has seen years of declining revenues. Due to competition from more prominent companies like Amazon or discounters like Walmart and Dollar Tree, its continued survival is now in jeopardy. Number 7. Stein Mart. Discount retail shop Stein Mart has yet to turn a profit since 2015. In the first quarter of 2020, its revenue fell by more than half, while its debt rose by almost $200 million. One of the retail companies, Stein Mart, that was impacted by the recent wave of corporate bankruptcies, is currently having liquidation sales at every one of its roughly 280 locations, which are all expected to close down permanently by the middle of 2023. Number 8. Century 21. Century 21 filed for bankruptcy in September of that year, when its insurance provider refused to pay a claim for $175 million to cover business interruption caused by the outbreak of the health crisis in that same year. Since then, the company has only reopened one store in New York, while closing all its locations on the East Coast due to the steep reduction in its retail footprint. Century 21 may pass away right in front of our eyes before anyone ever recognizes it. Number 9. Guitar Center. Guitar Center was established in 1959 and is currently the largest retailer of musical instruments in the United States. With a debt load of $1.3 billion, Guitar Center resulted in 2020 as one of the largest bankruptcies of the year, although the retailers and stakeholders came to a restructuring arrangement that reduced its indebtedness by approximately $800 million. But the business is still in trouble. Guitar Center has been experiencing financial difficulties for almost a decade, as it faces challenges building an online presence. Number 10. Fossil. The watch and handbag company Fossil Group is well known for its Zodiac and Fossil watch brands. Since then, things have stayed the same for Fossils, and the company has announced plans to cut its store count by 20% in 2022 and 2023. The company reported a massive sales loss in the staggering amount of $96 million, making it increasingly difficult for the organization to continue operating normally. The reality is that no one can say with absolute certainty that whether the next time we go to our neighborhood store will be the last time we go there or not. Even the most well-known and largest store chains in the United States are not immune to the avalanche that has been destroying countless retailers in recent years. The downfall of these celebrated brands has a common cause: an exhausted economy that's failing to support the growth of its businesses and give them the conditions to thrive. At this point, American consumers struggle to pay the highest prices they have seen in decades, and their wages are insufficient to support consumption. As a result, these businesses have suffered greatly, and the mass extinction of retailers has only just begun as a result. Well, that's it for today, but don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. Your perspective is valuable, and we would love to hear from you, and as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell icon so you will never miss any upload. See you in the next video.